I still remember the late summer evening when my father, worn out from a day's work at the gas station, sat down across from me at our kitchen table. The hum of the refrigerator and the faint scent of stale coffee filled the small apartment. I'd just finished my sophomore year at Westfield High with a 3.5 GPA, struggling to keep pace with classmates who seemed born to excel. When I complained aloud, my dad, Imran Khan, a first-generation immigrant who worked double shifts to provide for my sister and me, looked up with quiet resolve and said, "Beta, if you come first in your class next year, I'll buy you a car." I chuckled at the promise. A car? To me, that felt like winning the lottery. A high-achieving friend once told me getting first required resources I didn't have: tutors, prep courses, endless summer workshops. I had none of these. I had Dad's old laptop, economy-priced textbooks, and a battered bike for transportation. But when I looked into his eyes, I saw genuine conviction. He believed in me. That night, I lay awake imagining a bright blue car in our driveway, freedom pulsing in my veins. I resolved silently I would try. On the first morning of junior year, I set my alarm for 5 a.m. My parents presumed I was still asleep, but before sunrise, I sat at the kitchen table poring over algebra proofs and physics notes, while the neighborhood slept. By 7, I was pedaling my bike to school, backpack stuffed with textbooks. I arrived before even the school doors unlocked. My friends gave me sideways glances. "Gearing up for the car hunt?" one teased. I only nodded, too focused to joke back. Inside class, I claimed the front row seat, peppering teachers with questions. Where others doodled in margins, I annotated mine with extra diagrams and color-coded outlines. At lunch, I organized study. Circles under the old oak tree in the courtyard, 12:05 p.m. to 12:40, reserved for flashcard reviews in APUSH, AP Chemistry, AP Calculus BC. My reputation as Tani the tutor spread quickly. Teachers began assigning me peer help sessions after school. My classmates learned from my notes, and I learned by teaching. At home, I found Dad collapsed on the couch when he arrived from his second job. I brewed tea, warmed his battered feet, and shared my day's victories. A perfect score on the chem quiz, newfound clarity on differential equations. He would nod sleepily, pride lighting his eyes even as fatigue weighed down his shoulders. He never once quizzed me after dinner. He trusted I was using his promise as fuel. As autumn leaves turned gold, my GPA crept upward, 3.8 to 3.9. I joined the academic decathlon team, diving into obscure historical facts and scientific minutiae. Weekends at the public library replaced Saturday movies. I devoured old decathlon exams and online lectures. I found an after-school calculus boot camp, free through a community grant, and attended religiously. In December, I checked the interim grade portal. I ranked 3rd. Close, but not close enough. I felt hollow when I saw the names above mine. That night, I called Dad. "I'm almost there," I said, voice shaking. He replied, "That's good. Rest and rise tomorrow." His calm belief steadied me. Winter break offered little respite. My relatives expected me home for holiday celebrations, but I politely declined most gatherings, doctoring my excuse as study commitments. When asked where I vanished, I'd smile and say, "I'm working toward a goal." Only Mom, before she passed, would have scolded me for missing family. Instead, I focused on calculus problem sets and biology diagrams. The more I studied, the more my world shrank to the confines of textbooks and my bike routes. Late nights bled into early mornings. I subsisted on toast and instant coffee. My friends drifted away, invitations unanswered. But I felt progress. Every concept mastered, every formula memorized, every essay outline perfected brought me closer to Dad's promise. By spring, my GPA hovered at 4.0. I ranked 2nd. My name glowed on the portal next to the top student, Marcus Lee, whose perfect test scores and impressive extracurriculars made him legendary. I was within a hair's breadth. I updated my monthly plan: April, secure 1st place; May, maintain perfection; June, celebrate victory. April was a blur of AP exams and final projects. I wrote an award-winning research paper on quantum algorithms for my computer science class. I designed a model solar system to illustrate gravitational anomalies. I aced my A-Push DBQ essays with precision. My brain felt on fire, sharp as steel. On the last day of school, I walked into the guidance counselor's office, trembling, and she said, "Tani, your final rank is posted." I closed my eyes, pressed the button on the portal link, and saw rank, first of 732, GPA, 412. I gasped. Air rushed into my lungs and tears spilled down my cheeks. The door burst open. Marcus peeked in, surprised. He offered a handshake, respect, in his eyes. "Well done," he said. My phone buzzed. Dad's name in my notifications. I pressed call with shaking fingers. "Baba," I sobbed. "I did it. I came first." There was a pause. Then a low exhale. His voice cracked with pride. "Masha Allah, I knew you could." Now, the car. Within days, Dad and I visited a small used car lot in Oak Lawn. He moved with a careful gait. Years of back strain made him favor his left leg. I felt a surge of protectiveness. We examined 3 sedans, a 2016 Honda Civic, a 2015 Toyota Corolla, and a 2014 Ford Focus. Dad tested their engines, checked tire treads, and asked the salesman pointed questions about maintenance histories. I stood by his side, marveling at his savvy negotiation. After a gentle but firm haggle, we settled on the Civic. Blue, under 50,000 miles, spotless interior. When the keys transferred to my hand, they felt like a ticket to a new life. We drove home under the glow of streetlights, Dad's hand on my shoulder, pride radiating from his smile. Summer freed me to explore new opportunities. I landed a coveted internship at a tech startup in downtown Chicago. Gone were the 3-hour bus rides. I piloted my Civic through rush hour traffic. Audiobooks of leadership and ethics guiding me. I mentored underclassmen through my old high school's STEM outreach program, inspiring girls to embrace coding. I savored the independence of fueling and parking, of blasting music on long drives. But mid-July brought an alarming twist. Dad collapsed behind the register at work. A frantic ambulance ride revealed acute bronchitis aggravated by chronic exhaustion. Hospital walls smelled of antiseptic. His pale face looked too fragile for the strength I knew lived within him. At his bedside, I realized the car promise was more than a vehicle incentive. It was a metaphor for the path we walked together. Sacrifice, belief, and shared triumph. I nursed him back to health alongside my internship, scheduling ER visits between coding sprints. I cooked chicken soup, managed his medications, and handled insurance calls. Caring for him became my new mission. By fall, Dad had recovered enough to join me at my university apartment. I enrolled at Northwestern in September, parking my blue Civic under the campus lights. Orientation week buzzed with energy. I joined the Society of Women Engineers and started a peer tutoring club for first-generation college students. Every morning, I thanked the steering wheel beneath my hands and the engine's purr. I recalled Dad's promise whenever I wrote another line of code, researched another algorithm, or mentored another student. The car symbolized more than my academic achievement. It embodied my father's unwavering faith, my own resolve, and the responsibility I bore to honor both. On Aita. His birthday that year, I surprised Dad with an envelope and a small key. Inside lay the down payment for a cozy bungalow near the city park. When he opened it, his eyes filled with tears for the first time in my memory. He squeezed me tight. "Beta," he whispered, "you're my greatest gift." I gripped his hand. "You promised me a car when I came first. Now I promise you a home where you can rest and thrive." Today, as I ride my cherished Civic through Seattle's bustling streets, headset playing news podcasts, mind alive with possibilities, I glance at the rearview mirror and see Dad's reflection when he joins me on weekend visits. Behind us, on the dashboard, sits a small wooden plaque engraved with, "To the girl who worked day and night. May you always drive toward your dreams. Our journey continues, mile by mile, promise by promise." A father's belief sparked a daughter's determination, and together we built a life richer than any car or house, a life defined by sacrifice, perseverance, and the strength of family bonds.